Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives. First off, happy Father's Day to those of you that are celebrating on, well, the third week of June. Here, where I live in Canada or North America, that's kind of the time for celebrating us metal dads or us dads, period. It's a little different in other countries. I think Australia, Sweden, Finland, probably other countries celebrate on a different day. So when that time comes, happy Father's Day to you then. In the meantime, I'm going to have a great Father's Day. I'm going to sit here and listen to this brand new set from Black Sabbath called Anno Domini, 1989 to 1995. And I'll be listening to this for, I think, the fourth full time. Today's Sunday. This arrived a little bit late, so you've probably already seen unboxings and tons of people talking about this, but mine arrived on Monday, so I've had a few days to just kick back, and I've listened to it, like I said, 3 full times already. This is a set that I've been waiting for. A lot of people have been waiting for literally years. I think I could trace way back to probably 3 or 4 years ago. Probably more like 3. I heard rumblings about Tony Iommi doing a remix of Forbidden, and I was excited about that because it just, it's not a total shit album, but the production, the mix on it wasn't great, very thin sounding on the guitars and drums and stuff like that, but we'll talk about more of that in the future. Anyways, that was kind of the first rumblings I heard about anything pertaining to the Tony Martin era, which I'll add, there is nowhere on this box that says the Tony Martin era, which we'll talk about as we go. But anybody that is a fan of this underrated, underappreciated era of Black Sabbath already knows who the vocalist is on these 4 albums. There's one more album he's on, which we'll talk about too. But I thought, wow, this is awesome. And then about a year ago, actually roughly a year ago, there was way more talk about this is coming, it's coming. Then it almost didn't come, and then here it is, which finally, I remember talking on my Black Sabbath Live Evil, unboxing whatever video, even about this set, and that was just like basically a year ago. So I don't know if they're just releasing something every 1 year or something, but anyways, happy to have this set. Here is the hype sticker. Black Sabbath Anno Domini 1989 to 1995. 4 LP Super Deluxe Edition featuring 3 albums newly remastered, which are Headless Cross, Tear, and Cross Purposes. And then you have the new remix, the 2024 remix of Forbidden, which it's really awesome. I am impressed with that, and it will scrape Forbidden off the bottom of my ranking. Like I said, not that it was a total shit album. They really don't have, real stinkers in their discography, which I always call 20 because of the Heaven and Hell album. But yeah, it would move up, definitely. Let's finish off on this. So we also have a 1989 Headless Cross Tour replica concert book, which is great. 40-page booklet with photos, artwork, and liner notes. Now, the Live Evil had a hardback book. This one is a softer book, but just as well done. It doesn't matter to me if it's a soft cover or hardback. It's quality regardless. Now, and a Headless Cross poster. So on the back of these, I'll show you the back of this box set, because generally what happens is lots of these box sets have a overlay on it. In the case of this one, if you're wondering, and you know what, I think I know why it's on there, but this one is under the Warner Brothers label. Now, I don't believe it's the same distribution all around the world. I think, let me know in the comments if you live in the UK somewhere, or you live, just let me know if you picked one up and does yours say BMG, because on the bottom, which you cannot see here, but it does say R, which probably stands for Rhino, and then you got the BMG and all the codes there too. So just a this overlay maybe is not included, or it's a little bit differently set up in other countries. I'm not quite sure, but they always do this, and it's usually kind of glued with that ticky-tack glue. This one was just in there, so you didn't have to remove it with a heat gun or anything like that. But yeah, what a great set. I've been looking forward to getting this. The pre-order was a while ago. Released May 31st. Like I said, mine just arrived. And I live in Canada. The pre-order price was $133 Canadian, which for a 4-album set and these extras to me is an absolute bargain. I checked this morning, it's already up to $190. So if you're on the fence about this era of Black Sabbath, you might want to get one before the prices are up into the $200 range. I could see that happening. I don't know if there's plan to, I think it's a big success so far, so maybe there's plans to make a second pressing like they did with that Wasp set, which I'll touch. As far as box sets, it's been a slow 6 or 7 months. I think the last 2 that I've shown on my channel are the Wasp box set and the Winger box set. So hopefully we got a few more box sets. I love a good box set, put it that way. So I already showed you the back cover. So here's the spine. I'll just hold this like this. Just well made, like any of these Black Sabbath box sets. I've seen, this is the only second one that I own. I have the Live Evil. And if you watch my channel, you know that I'm a big Dio fan. Ronnie James Dio, really high up there with my with the Black Sabbath that he's been involved in. And a couple other thoughts before I won't burn too much more of your time before I get rolling, but why is this set not called the Tony Martin years or era? Is there the Tony Martin years? Which I don't mind that they didn't do that. I also don't mind that they didn't call it the IRS years, because I don't know if distribution was the same all around the world with that too, but it was for the most part here. But if you included kind of the middle of this would be Dehumanizer. So you got 2 albums here in this set are $89.90. Then you have the kind of the break with Dehumanizer, which was IRS, I think in the UK, and then Reprise in North America. So that is part of the IRS years, which I just can't see Black Sabbath even calling it that anyways. I like what they did with this. You know very well if you're wanting this set, or like I said, you know who the vocalist is on here, and glad he is finally getting some more credit for the work he's done, because this is a era of the band that people do skip over, or they don't put as much emphasis on, versus the Ozzy and Dio era, which, yeah, I get it, I understand, but give this a chance. What a great set. So let me just show you the vinyl first, and then I'll show you what else is in here. One thing I've talked about in my channel over and over is logos. I'm kind of a logo band. I love the Iron Maiden logo. I love the Judas Priest logo, Metallica, Megadeth, whatever. But I don't mind a band that changes their logo literally every album. And that, all those bands, or you know the ones that you're coming to mind right away, and Black Sabbath is one of those bands. But here's first up in the set, 1989's Headless Cross. Fantastic album. This is I'll give a little bit of my ranking away. This is quite high up. It is top 10 plus for me. And if you are one of those people that has maybe sloughed this era off a bit, start with this one. Just heavy duty riffs. These remasters sound great. I'll show you the vinyl in a second. Now, if you've never even heard a song off of here, try the opening track, the title track, Headless Cross. Fantastic. But my favorite track on here is When Death Calls. Just a cool opening to that. Then this crushing Tony riff. As far as the remasters go versus the CDs, these are just a better volume, but it's not brick walled or anything. It's yeah, it sounds just perfect to me. Definitely check it out. So the lineup on here is Tony, of course, Cozy Powell on drums, Tony Martin on vocals, Jeff Nichols on keyboards, and then you have Lawrence Cottle on bass, which I don't know if he was just a session guy or not. But from what I've seen, also the cover here is, I really like what this cover is just perfect. It's actually a little more vibrant than the original that I've seen people show. I don't have any originals on vinyl to compare them to. But what we'll do at the end of my video, I'm going to do a little mini ranking of these four, like I've done in many other boxing videos. Anti-static sleeves, I guess one complaint on these, this set is there is no liner or liner inside these. All that info is actually in the book, which is fine with me. You know, as long as it's all contained in one, you know, little great set, I'm happy. But there is the center ring, which you have the kind of the album cover piece in the background. Logos are the same on both sides, and then you have the Warner Brother logo, Warner Record logo. Sorry. Let me know, yeah, if you've bought this in a different country. Maybe you have the BMG logo. I'm not sure how that works, but so there is Headless Cross so far, and I'll just keep these aside so we can do that little mini ranking. And then we have 1990s Tear. The cover looks really good. I think maybe it's a little less green, a little more dark than the CD version, or the, I don't know, was this actually ever released on vinyl? I don't know that. But yeah, this would be, you know, semi-concept album in a way. It says Tyr, son of Odin and the supreme sky god of the northern peoples, the god of war and martial valor, the protector of the community and giver of law and order. So yeah, great tracks on here. This is a very good album if you've not heard it. Remaster sounds great. Tony, of course, Tony and Tony are both here. Cozy Powell on drums again. Then you have Neil Murray on bass, a little more, you know, more not reputable, but familiar name. And then Jeff Nichols on keyboards again. But check out, well, Anno Monday, the opening track, fantastic. Lawmaker, Jerusalem, the Sabbath Stones. Yeah, the whole first side is fantastic. Check out Valhalla. And the track that ends the album, Heaven in Black. So yeah, great artwork. And of course you got that different Black Sabbath logo that are usually always fitting with the, you know, kind of the theme and the artwork of the album. And like, I don't know if I mentioned it, it's anti-static sleeves on every one of these, which is a nice touch. And then you have the center ring here, which is just says Tear in there. I like it, just simple. It's not, you know, overly done. Simple, basic there. And that is Tear. So that's from 1990. Then we got The Break with Dehumanizer, which, yeah, I think it's cool that happened. I think they tried to, you know, bring back, there's tons of info in that book on that kind of intermission with the band and that, why things went the way they did. And then of course Tony Martin came back. But next up, so after that 92 album, Dio back doing his Dio stuff, and resume with 1994's Cross Purposes. Now this one was lower on my ranking, but I don't know if I mentioned it, but Black Sabbath have never really done anything ridiculous or really bad in my opinion. They're just always put out something that entertains me. I don't know, but there's the cover. Well done. Don't know if this one ever got released on vinyl before. I don't know if this is a first or not, but yeah. And the first song they released from the remastered was Evil Eye, which is cool. There is well, Eddie Van Halen is on that, and you just listen to that. You'll know exactly where his solo is. And then I believe he's kind of on the outro solo too, but I think it's two and change, 3 minutes in before you hear Eddie. Can't quite remember on that, but yeah, you'll definitely hear him. Great track, by the way, Evil Eye. Also, where is it? Eyewitness, the first track. And this one is, what else? Virtual Death. That's heavy, kind of crushing. This one also sees the return of Geezer Butler on bass. And if you're, your Black Sabbath stuff, Geezer is responsible for tons of Black Sabbath lyrics. But at the time of this album, he came in and, Tony Martin obviously probably, blown away. Hey, Geezer Butler's with us, and that's great. And I think Tony asked him, do you want to do these lyrics? And he's like, nope, you do them. I'll do the bass. I'll do my thing. So that's a cool little bit of info that Geezer said, no, Tony, you do the lyrics, and which is cool. Who else did we have? We had Bobby Rondinelli on drums, who's currently, what band is he in? I just heard some info. I think it's Black Country Communion. That band, if you know that band, I don't know them that well, but anyways. And Jeff Nichols on keyboards, of course, Tony, and then Geezer on bass. So I'll set that one aside, and then we'll show you the center ring on that, which is just kind of that winged, cool part from the album cover, and same on both sides. And you got that little Black Sabbath symbol that's on all of these newly redone box sets and things like that, or the Super Deluxe box set. So that's cross purposes. And so those three, all, like I said, all remastered, sound really good. Also, if you picked up the CD set, let me know, how are those sounding? I think the only thing that would bother me about the CD set, and which I could look past, is those sleeves. I wish it was more of a digi pack with an actual tray. I just think that would have been a little more touch with the quality. But other than that, just let me know how those sound if you picked up that version. So Forbidden, 1995's Forbidden. Here's the cover for that. So yeah, it's kind of cartoonish. You got Tony and Cozy and Tony and Jeff Nichols, and there's the back cover of that. So produced by Ernie C., which you might already know that. A little bit of Ice-T on here, which that part, I wouldn't say it's bothered me, but I really don't like that part that he's on. No disrespect to what he does. He does his thing, and that's cool. But the remix of this is worth the price of this box set. I'll tell you, it is. The drums and guitars have been given new life without drowning out Tony's vocals. Everything is just at a perfect balance, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so here it is. Now, go-to songs on here. Get a Grip was the first song they released from this before it came out. So you got a little bit of snippet of what it was going to sound like, and I was like, this is going to be good. And it did not disappoint. Can't Get Close Enough. Oh, the riff on there is awesome. Shaking Off the Chains. Guilty as Hell, another great track. Rusty Angels, not bad at all either. And the title track, Forbidden. Man, it's like, yeah, given new life for sure. Lineup, Tony and Tony, of course. Neil Murray, Cozy Powell back on drums. I believe he had some sort of accident. I don't know if it was a car accident or a motorcycle accident, but back on drums on this one. And Jeff Nichols on keyboards. And remixed by Tony Iommi here in 2024. And here is the vinyl for this. So yeah, following suit of all four of these. So yeah, just simple, just nice. Love the black vinyl. You don't need a bunch of colored versions of this to come out anyways. This is just fine. And as far as I know, selling really well. So like, I don't know if I mentioned it already. You better jump on the bus if you're going to get this set. And if it is a era of this band that you just, like I said, just disregarded or just didn't put a lot of effort into, This is a great set to, well, this is a great set. The only thing you're missing here is Eternal Idol, which on that note, I hope this one gets, and the reason it's not included, it's on a different label. And really, as far as Tony Martin goes, this album was already made, written with Ray Gillen on vocals. And, you know, Tony didn't like the way things were going and brought in Tony Martin. And I really enjoy this album too. I would put this right in the middle somewhere of these 5 albums as far as quality and quality of songs. But different label, so it couldn't be included in this set. But I hope it gets its own separate treatment. Maybe include the Ray Gillen version too, some extras. And on that note too, I would love to see something on this album, because this is a one-off album that I really do. I think it's super unique, and that's Born Again. So let me know if you've heard anything. Is there anything happening with this? Yeah, there's the lineup on here, which you have Ian Gillan on vocals here. So yeah, hope something happens with that. And I would even take something on one of my least favorite Black Sabbath albums, and that's 7 Star. But I think this one could use you know, definitely a remaster, maybe a touch of a remix. But there's some great songs on here too. So I would say those 3 need kind of their own separate little bit of a treatment. So also in this book was the Headless Cross Tour replica booklet. I will just crack open a few pages, and there is the lineup here for that. And this is quality paper. There's just tons of reading material in all these box sets, and some great photos too. And if you read as slow as I do, this will last you probably a year till the next box set comes out. But some great write-ups and stuff like that too. So there's their tour replica booklet. Then we have the full poster. Let me just see if I'll just put out a little bit of this, because it's basically the Headless Cross album cover. So imagine that if I held up all of that. So that will remain in my set. I don't generally hang up stuff that comes in sets. I keep it intact. And then we have the 40-page book, which I don't want to drop here. And I mentioned it's not a hardback, but it is not a piece of shit either. I'll tell you that. It's very well done. And like I said, there's just tons of reading material in here. That's cool. They got those logos on the inside, and then it's right into basically a breakdown of what was happening during, you know, every one of these albums. So you got Headless Cross, you know, you got pictures, flyers, single covers, which some of you real hardcore Black Sabbath collectors, I mean, those are probably worth a mint. Then you go right into, what is Kerrang magazine album cover there, and then into, where is it, Tier 9091, the tour, part of a tour here, world tour. That would have been cool to see that. Hey, have you seen Black Sabbath with Tony Martin? I have not. I've only saw Black Sabbath, well, actually it was Heaven and Hell. I've only saw them once, and that was with the lineup, the Heaven and Hell lineup with, of course, Ronnie James Dio, Tony Geezer, and Vinny Appice, and that was in 2007. That's the only time I've seen Black Sabbath at all, or like I said, Heaven and Hell. And then towards the back here, so you go basically through every album, and then at the back here is the lyrics and everything that would have been, you know, kind of the a liner that wasn't included in each vinyl. And then I imagine if you have an original of any of these, the photos of the liner would be in here also. So yeah, and then you got the lyrics and stuff for Tier, and then so on and so forth. But great booklet, great set. And for that original price that I got this pre-order, and I probably said it 100 times, those pre-orders, especially an Amazon pre-order, it costs you nothing until it ships. So, you know, get it pre-ordered. You can always cancel it if you're not happy with the price prior to its release. Or even Amazon's return policy is quite good, quite easy. But $133 for this set, I am more than happy. Would I have paid $190? Yeah, probably. I probably would have paid $220 for this set. I'm that happy with it. And like I said, hopefully they continue with, you know, Born Again, and the Eternal Idol gets a set. Would be awesome. I've also picked up, like I told you before, the Live Evil or Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules. I don't have a lot of the Black Sabbath, the first albums. What I'm hoping for now with the excitement of this set and other sets is they do another go around of the first 8 Black Sabbath albums in a set. I know there's a picture disc version, I think called Hand of Doom or something. I'm really not interested in that set. Just a, you know, black vinyl basic set would be cool. So I'm sure there will be another go around on that. But in the meantime, I am going to kick back and enjoy Father's Day and enjoy this whole set once more. Let me know in the comments, did you pick it up? Are you happy with it? You know, did you rediscover the Tony Martin era, or most of it anyways? But hope you enjoyed this one. And until next time, stay heavy.